it, and now I don't know exactly where it is. I think I do know. But yeah, it would be something similar to that, because I've seen that kind of strapping material used by big burly guys who move stuff for a living. And you know, although refrigerators are never as heavy as they look, because they're, what are they, like 80% styrofoam? But it's along that line. That's what this device is like. So I need to investigate it. It may help me a lot.
Yeah, something that will completely wrap around the TV and give you some security to maybe drag it up the steps slowly, you know, without the thought of losing it and having it tumble down the steps.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But yeah, well, and I think I could use a blanket on the steps to bring it up a couple of steps at a time, and then relocate the blanket. It'd be a tedious process, but you know, you're talking about a staircase that's only a few feet long. It's not like you have to move it a half a mile.
Yeah, Roger. Plus, you know, another person would really make it a whole lot easier. So, yeah, that's when the XYL gets brought in, whether she wants to or not.
Well, yeah, I try to minimize those times. I know the one time I asked her to go outside to help me do antenna work, I think I was fearful she was going to suffer a permanent dislocation of her eyeballs from the rolling of the eyes.
Yeah, there's a danger they can get stuck in the upper position, and then you only see whites. That would be pretty bad.
That would be terrible. You've never seen that condition, have you?
Only in pictures.
Well, I nearly saw it the day I was out there trying to get her to help me put up my 80-meter loop. That was the first time I helped, or asked her to help me, and that was the last time I asked her to help me do antenna work.
Well, I have solicited Gina on numerous occasions now, and she's a pretty good trooper. She, you know, she will hold and will pull when I tell her to pull, and, you know, but still, there's nothing to replace another hand that has done it, you know, for as long as we have. So, you know, it's like as she's trying to be sweet and trying to be nice and trying to be helpful, but and it does help a great deal. There's some things that I've been able to do with her help that I couldn't have done otherwise.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. At any rate, well, I have learned to be as self-sufficient as I can be by myself when working with antennas. I was really in a pickle that one time I asked her to come out and help me. And after a while, it became painfully obvious the pickle was going to persist. So I just thanked her for her efforts and sent her back inside.
Yeah, and she was overjoyed.
Is that why she was hopping, skipping, and jumping from the front yard back inside? I wondered what she was doing.
Yeah, I can see her doing it now. Holy moly, he let me go back inside.
Well, nothing tops the time that I got stuck up on my roof in Royal Oak, Michigan, because it was a windy day and it blew down my extension ladder, and I was stuck on the roof and couldn't get down, and had to go over to where Sherry was watching TV and started yelling and screaming to get her attention. Well, that didn't work, so then I started stomping on the roof. That got her attention, but boy, she came outside and she put her hands on her hips and looked up at me, and the words were, "Mister, why are you making that big racket?"
know, maybe it's because I can't get down.
Yeah, that was my reply, almost verbatim.
Oh, yeah. I had to laugh because just recently, 2-3 days ago, we had a lot of wind and rain, and I had my extension ladder up on, so that I could get up on the roof easily, and so that sucker came crashing down with a thud that was, audible throughout the house, and we were both wondering if if something had fallen on the house, and then I heard the metallic sound, the metal on metal, and I went, that's got to be the ladder, and sure enough, it had been blown off to the side and landed on the deck. No harm done to anything, but it sure was loud.
Yeah, well, that's the way mine sounded the day it blew over and left me stranded on the roof. That was the day I discovered and decided, henceforth, note the use of henceforth, ye old English, henceforth, one shall wire the ladder in place before going up on the rooftop, so that henceforth one doesn't get stranded anymore and have to endure ye old numero one wifey who says, "Mister, what's going on up there?"
Yep, that would be a good thing to do. Just avoid windy days is another suggestion.
Oh, we can't do that, When you get the urge to do antenna work, you got to go out there and make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, don't you know? I mean, I don't get that feeling all too often. It seems it's more of a feeling of frustration. It's at least that's what I anticipate. I go out and I go, okay, what's going to be frustrating this time? And I really shouldn't have that opinion. I probably should, rethink things and, go with a more positive approach. Like, this is going to be an awesome antenna day. Would that work better?
Yeah, I think so. N for KZ.
N for ME.
Well, the hardest thing to this most recent antenna repair project, which I began on Sunday, was just psyching myself up to go out there in the first place. Once I was outside doing the work, it was okay. And then when I went out today to rehab my solder work from the first day, today was okay. But the worst part of the whole project was just getting myself psyched up to go out there, because I didn't want to do it. But I also know how well this antenna works, and so it's like, okay, you can't really use the antenna the way you want to until you fix it. So you gotta do it. Today is an ideal weather day, to do antenna work. Not too hot, not too cold, not windy, it's not snowing, and you won't be using a ladder. So why not?
All very valid points, and glad you did it. And you're back on the air and everything's cool. So I see that carrier is back on above us now. But yeah, this has been a good move, good frequency. Well, I guess it's about that time, so I'll move on down the pike. And as we spoke, I'll be absent next Monday, so we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Is Dave Hogan and his buddy still doing their podcast?
Yes, they are.
Well, I got to catch up with that. I heard the very first one, and I haven't heard one since.
Yeah, I don't know how many they've done now, but it's quite a few. I think normally they do one about every week or maybe 2 weeks. They get together and Pop drives over to Asheville,